Picture this. You just got paid. And for the first time in a while, after rent, after groceries, after every bill, you still have $300 left over. So you do the responsible thing. You open your banking app and move it straight into savings. You feel good about it. Proud even. Like you're finally adulting correctly. But then a week goes by. Then a month. And that $300 is still just sitting there, earning almost nothing. And somewhere in the back of your mind, a thought starts creeping in. Am I doing this wrong? Here's the uncomfortable truth. For most people, yes. Saving money feels responsible, but saving alone is one of the slowest paths to building real wealth that exists. And the difference between people who stay stuck and people who actually get ahead isn't how much they save. It's what they do with it after. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly what to do instead of saving, and why making this switch could be the most important financial decision you ever make. My name is Jack, and I spend way too much time thinking about why smart people stay stuck doing the wrong thing with their money. If this is the kind of content you need, hit subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. Let's get into it. Okay, let's start with the math, because the math is brutal and nobody talks about it honestly. Right now, the average savings account in the US pays somewhere around 0.5% interest. Some high-yield savings accounts pay more, around 4 to 5%, which sounds better. But here's the thing. Inflation in the US has averaged around 3% per year historically, which means even in the best-case scenario, your savings account is barely keeping up. And in the worst case, your money is quietly losing purchasing power every single year. You're not growing wealth. You're just trying not to lose it. Now, compare that to investing. Historically, the S&P 500 has returned around 10% per year on average over long periods. After inflation, that's roughly 6 to 7% real growth. That's not a guarantee. Markets go up and down, but over decades, the direction has been clear. Let's look at real numbers. Say you save $300 per month in a savings account, earning 1%. After 20 years, you'd have roughly $79,000. Now, take that same $300 per month and invest it in a broad index fund, averaging 8% annually. After 20 years, roughly $176,000. Same money, same discipline, completely different outcome. That $97,000 gap is the cost of choosing saving over investing. And this is where it gets really interesting. Because most people know this math exists, but they still don't invest. And the reason isn't laziness, it's psychology. Saving feels safe. You can see the number. It doesn't move. It doesn't drop 10% on a random Wednesday afternoon. But investing feels risky, uncertain, like you could lose everything. And that fear is real. But here's what most people don't realize. The risk of not investing is just as real. It's just slower and quieter. You don't feel it day to day. But 20 years from now, you'll feel it. So what should you do instead? Here's the framework. 3 moves in order. Move 1. Keep a real emergency fund, but only that. This is the one place savings makes complete sense. 3 to 6 months of living expenses in cash, in a high-yield savings account. This money has one job: protect you from life surprises, so you never have to panic sell your investments at the worst moment. Once that buffer exists, savings has done its job. Everything extra should be working harder. Move 2. Eliminate high-interest debt first. If you're carrying credit card debt at 20 or 25% interest, paying that down is actually the best investment you can make, because paying off 25% debt is mathematically identical to earning a guaranteed 25% return. The stock market doesn't offer that. So before you invest anywhere else, kill the high-interest debt. You can't fill a bucket that has a hole in it. Move 3. Invest the rest, consistently, automatically. Once your emergency fund exists and high-interest debt is gone, every extra dollar beyond that should be invested. Not saved, invested. And I'm going to be blunt. For most people, this doesn't mean picking stocks, chasing crypto, or trying to time the market. It means buying a low-cost, broad index fund and automating monthly contributions. Why index funds? Because even professional fund managers fail to beat the market consistently over long periods. If the pros can't do it, trying to outsmart the market with a few $100s is lottery behavior, not investing. The real secret isn't which fund you pick, it's automation. Because automation removes the decision from your hands. You don't have to feel brave, you don't have to time anything. Every month, money moves automatically from your account into your investment, and compounding quietly does the rest. Let me give you a quick analogy. Keeping all your money in savings is like filling a leaky bucket. Water goes in, but it slowly seeps out through inflation and opportunity cost. Investing is like switching to a bucket with no leaks and a tap that adds water automatically every month. Same effort, dramatically different result over time. Now you might be thinking, but Jack, what if the market crashes? Fair question. And here's the honest answer. Markets crash. They've crashed dozens of times in history, but every single time, they've recovered and gone higher. Long-term investors don't just survive crashes, they benefit from them. Because when markets drop, your monthly investment buys more shares at lower prices. The people who get hurt are the ones who panic and sell. So here's the move. Build your emergency fund first, 3 to 6 months of expenses. Eliminate any high-interest debt. Then automate your investments in a low-cost index fund. Even $100 per month, even $50. The amount matters less than the habit. Because here's the truth most people learn too late. Saving money keeps you safe, but investing money sets you free. And the earlier you make that switch, the more time compounding has to work in your favor. If this video shifted how you think about saving versus investing, hit subscribe. And I'm curious, are you currently saving, investing, or both? Let me know in the comments, because sometimes the smallest mindset shift leads to the biggest financial change.